All right, we are out here at the AIM Expo, and in this video, we are going to talk about some awesome products by a company named Scosche. And just so you know right now, this is not sponsored, and you're going to want to see this coming up. All right, so welcome to another video. If we're just meeting for the first time, my name is Chris. This is Navigate Off-Road, where it's really all about helping you explore the unpaved through off-road information, destinations, and reviews. And we're still out here at the AIM Expo. There's so much to see here. It's just an awesome event. And in this video, I want to talk about Scosche. It's a company that has just a really kind of unique random line of UTV products. They focus on a lot of other areas as well, but specifically, we're going to talk about what they offer for ATVs and side-by-sides. And before I even get any further, let me just say right now, this is not sponsored. I asked them to film this video. They didn't come seek me out or anything like that. So this isn't, any sort of commercial video. I want to share it with you because there's like 3 products here that I think are awesome, especially for the UTV rider. ATV as well, but more so for the UTV rider. And the first one, and this is the big one that I think is super unique, is this speaker system that they have here. All right, so I know this looks like just a normal average Bluetooth speaker. I mean, you've probably seen a lot of similar things in many stores, but what's awesome about this one, what I really like about it, is the fact that you can pair 2 of these together. And that's huge to me, and that's really what drew my attention to this whole company and what made me look deeper into this, because you can pair a couple of them together. If you know when you're on your ATV or your side-by-side, one speaker sometimes just isn't enough to go over the noise of the engine and the roar, right? But the way that this works is you pair 2 of them together. They've got mounts that you can just put right on your roll bars or your handlebars if it's for an ATV, wherever you want, and it's going to provide you more volume, right? And what else is cool about these that I really like, and I've been through a ton of Bluetooth speakers over time. I'm always trying to find a better one. And one of the big issues with any small speaker, right? The higher the volume, the worse it sounds. I've tried tons of Bluetooth speakers over time, and one thing that always gets me is, it sounds great in the store, you get it out by your machine, you turn the volume up, and it just gets super distorted, right? That's normal. That's how it's going to be with any small speaker. But with these, one thing that they've done that I think is great, when it gets above 80% of the volume, it lowers the bass, right? So it's going to bring the bass down, which is going to get rid of some of that distortion when you're trying to crank it at 100% volume as you're going down the trail, because you're definitely going to need that higher volume as you're trying to get over the sound of the engine, right? Now, since we're talking about that, as a caveat, I should say, if you're looking for the best, most awesomest of all audio, this isn't for you. That's, you want to go spend hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of dollars to get a custom system put into your machine. This is a great option for the rider that wants something not overly expensive, that's going to work well, that's going to handle the outdoor environment, and that's also going to provide you the benefit of portability. Speaking of which, that's another great reason to consider an option like this. With these, you can just pop them out of your machine and enjoy them at the campsite, by the grill, the trailhead, whatever you want. And that's something that you don't get with a lot of the built-in systems, right? So with the smaller systems and the portable speakers, you can just pop them out and take them with you. And that's a bonus on these because they're pairable, right? So you can have like one at the grill and then one maybe over by the fireplace or whatever you want. So you're going to have 2 of them set up, and it's just going to give you more well-rounded sound. So you're not just trying to crank one all the way up as you're, sitting around the fire wherever you may be, which is a super awesome feature. All right, so let's move on. Let me put this sucker down. Oh, I didn't even mention, by the way, magnet on both sides. Check this out. This is even cooler too. So you're at the campfire, you get your music going, you just set it all down. It's all totally magnetic, and if you're like me, that's a huge bonus. I mean, you can literally just slap that down wherever you want, and then when you're ready, you mount it back in your side-by-side. All right, a couple other cool little things that I want to talk about because I think they deserve our attention. One is their phone magnet mount, okay? If you've been on this channel for a while, I've had 1 or 2 other videos talking about best ways to secure your phone while you're out on the trail, because that's an issue, especially if you're like me, you want to have your phone out for maps and all that, but having a good way to secure it where it's not going to bolt out of your machine and end up getting run over is a huge issue. I mean, phones are coming up on like $1,000+ now. So you want to make sure that your phone is well taken care of. And they've got a magnet system that actually appears to be trustworthy out on the trail. And I've talked about magnet options out on the trail before and how I don't think they're a good option because you hit some heavy impact and that phone's just going to take off. And, if you find it again, the screen's probably just destroyed. But with their option here, the magnet is intense. I mean, it really, you have to actually put some effort into pulling it off. I actually think that this would probably work out on the trail, and even if the magnet wasn't good enough for you. So if you put that magnet on there, you're still like, I don't know, man, I'm still kind of like a little weary. That's great. It's got little elastic bungees here that you can add on there. that's really going to ensure that it stays secure out on the trail. And again, the great thing with an option like this, it's a magnet system. It's got the mounts that you need for your ATV and side-by-side, but they've also got car mounts, and they're not ridiculously expensive. I think the car mount right now is like $17, and I'll put a link in the show notes below for all this gear so you can check it out yourself. But so now you can load out your ATV and your car and put one at the office or wherever you work, and you're gonna kind of have that same universal fit for all your devices. And the magnet is stronger than any magnet, and I'm a magnet guy, by the way. As you can see, I've got one on my phone right now. So I'm a magnet guy, but this magnet is like next level when it comes to being sturdy and strong. So that is an awesome product as well. And two last things I want to cover real quick. One is their fire extinguisher mount here. I'm going to pull this off. If you're a UTV rider and you're all about having a fire extinguisher hooked onto your roll cage, this is a great option they make. It's real sturdy, it's strong, it feels good, and it's easy to get on and off. And let's be honest, in an emergency, you want to be able to pull it on and off pretty easy. And then finally, the last thing I want to mention, I'm just like taking stuff off and throwing it everywhere around their booth, is their grips, right? Cool little grip. I've got some of these in my side-by-side, but they're not this nice. This is really like a solid build, almost like when you tighten this in, it's gonna feel like it's part of the machine. The ones I've got are kind of loose and floppy that I've used, and they're fine. They're really inexpensive, but if you want like a good oh crap handle, like this is a real solid build. So again, this isn't a sponsored video. They didn't ask me to make this. I asked them if I could shoot here because as with everything AIM Expo right now, I'm trying to find some great products and some things that might benefit you while you're out on the trail. Again, I'll put the links in the show notes down below. I hope this video was helpful. I hope one of these products maybe solves a solution for you. So as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you on the trail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to offer a reminder from
She gets me every video. Every video. Grill in one.
Sorry.
It's all right.